Good day, my people. I want to talk about a subject that affects so many people. Suicidal thoughts, also known as suicidal ideations, which can lead to self-harm. Like I said, so many people affected by this, from little school-age kids to teenagers, all the way through the elderly. I would never minimize what someone goes through, the hurt, the trauma, the bullying, emptiness, lack of understanding and support. What you feel is valid, but I want to share some experiences and provide some reasons why you should always choose life. Let's start with the fact that things always change. Situations are temporary, moods, feelings, emotions, all temporary. Trust me, I've been through several situations where I thought, how am I gonna get myself out of this? And I probably would never get myself out of this. But circumstances change, and eventually I pulled through it. I felt the lowest of the lows, feelings that I thought I never want to feel again. Then time passed, and I felt it again. Then I felt it again. But guess what? I made it out, and in between those rough situations, there were good times. One lesson I learned is to never make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of that's a part of the life cycle. In the future, after you make it through whatever negative experience you make it through, you will be able to assist someone else going through similar situations. Because the best instructor to show you how to get somewhere or to get through something is someone who has already been there. So the experience you gain, the strength you build up, the darkness you shine through, be that light for someone else. Guide the next individual through despair. Encourage another person to make it through. By going through it, you have more compassion, more understanding, sympathy, empathy for said person because you can relate more now. And believe it or not, some of your best memories are in the future. That goes for anyone as long as you live, especially these kids and teenagers I talk to, these young adults. You have so many. Like, when I was in those moments and all I can see is right now, I've experienced so many great things since then. Having kids, starting a business, owning my own home, like so many things you're going to be able to do because you don't know what the future holds for you. You just don't. You just got to keep chipping away and being positive. We got to be patient. We got to learn ourselves. We got to learn what we want out of life. We got to pursue our passions and discover our purpose. It doesn't come overnight. Trust me. Nevertheless, we all have purpose. We all can bring a positive energy to society and benefit society in a positive way. There is no great biography without some drama, some tragedy, some triumph. Every powerful story of anyone's life, they overcame some obstacles, some failures, disappointments, non-believers, betrayal, doubt. Every single story, I promise you. You see, you don't know how great you can become. Others definitely don't know how great you can become. Even positive people don't know how great you can become. You can touch many lives. You might be the person who touches the person who touches the person who touches millions. You get what I'm saying? We're all connected. Not just the humans, the trees, the plants, the animals, microscopic organisms. Everything is connected. We all us. Yes, the situation is about you, but when you take away life, even your own life, you don't only hurt yourself. You deprive others of potential positive energy and a positive force. Anybody can decide to touch other people positively. Then if you have any loved ones, of course they're going to be devastated. No matter how much they get on your nerves or vice versa, trust me, they're going to be traumatized. Even if you believe no one cares about you, there's always people who love you, always. If it's not a parent, a relative, a friend, you have people who devote their entire lives or most of their lives to helping others, sometimes for little to nothing, no monetary exchange. Just out of the kindness of their heart because they love people. Other times they might get paid. In my case, I do stuff for free, but in my career, I get paid for my passion, and there's nothing wrong with monetizing your passions and purpose because it don't really feel like you working. The point is, I care for people. no matter who you are, I got love for you, and I know plenty of people like me. I do this because I feel fulfilled and I'm leaving a positive impact. And it's all about purpose. What is that thing that gets you going? What is that thing that you will do for free? Is directly connected to your meaning of life. You're going to find meaning in that. Don't study too hard right now trying to figure it out. Try different things, explore, live, and gradually you just feel it. You know. You're going to get excitement. You're going to get joy. You're going to get gratification based on internal reasons. Then you pursue. And it's not about the end result all the time. It's about the journey. It's a thrill discovering who you can be. I've known several people who actually committed suicide. One of them was my brother's friend. We grew up with him since young teenagers, and then when he was 21, he moved to a different part of Florida. And after a while, we got a call saying he was found in a car with a apparent gunshot wound. Just really quiet, laid back guy, really friendly if you got to know him. Never bother anybody. It was sad that just nobody was able to reach him before he decided his final faith. Another guy I played JV football with, and he was really good at football. He played quarterback and I played running back, and we probably had most of the touchdowns on the team. I transferred to a private school and played running back on a scholarship. He stayed at that school and started playing running back and eventually started for the University of Illinois and played with Rashad Mendenhall, I think, for a year or two. So he was really good at football. At 30 years old, they found him in a Chicago apartment deceased from a self-inflicted wound. Just a real upbeat, smiley, good humor, someone you would have never imagined that committed suicide. And the last person was my neighbor. And we never really spoke much. Like, we waved from a distance. He was the house directly behind me. But we had one encounter. I was fixing a wooden fence around my house. And like I said, he was the house directly behind me. So when I got on a part of the fence that's directly behind me, you know, he walked up. He was like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. I'm going to go get some wood from Home Depot and have you fix the size of my house." And he wasn't joking. And I'm looking like, this guy just going to tell me that I'm going to fix his fence, you know. But it wasn't that serious. Me and my companion, we laughed about it later that night. And a few months later, I saw ambulances out at his house and just lights and some police, you know, because I saw the lights and then I kind of went over, like, looked behind the fence and I just saw lights just posted there and they was there for a while. Well, soon after, I asked my next door neighbor, does he know what happened? And, you know, this was a couple days later. He told me that the guy committed suicide. He was going through a rough divorce. His wife took the kids and she was trying to get the house and she was winning in court. And he had decided to end it all because my next door neighbor had his son-in-law lived on that street. So it was actually some similar stuff that I had just went through. And maybe if we had a conversation, I could have helped him through it, you know, but it's just a really sad situation that he was caught up like that. And I just remember that one interaction we had, and it made me think back to my messy divorce and how it could have went another way. You know, and I've heard of some ethnic groups, some nationalities not taking suicidal thoughts seriously. Our people don't have them problems. Are you acting white? All of that type of stuff. Listen, if somebody's thinking about suicide, take it serious. Even if they're doing it for attention to you, take it serious, because if they actually do it, you're going to be devastated. And we don't need any lives lost when they could be a benefit to society. This affects everybody because all of the three people I just named, they were all black. So this can happen to anybody. I thought of suicide once. I was dating a girl for a few months. Long story short, I found out she was dating somebody else. I had done went to work, you know, with my stepdad cutting grass, saved her some money. You know, begged a couple of my uncles, scraped up $60 and bought her this real thin chain for her birthday. Like, I was all in, and come to find out she was dating another guy. So I felt really down. Either my mom or stepdad had some pain pills. I took I took 2 of the pain pills and I took like 5 Tylenol PM. All I did was sleep all day, but in my spirit, like I did want to die for a brief moment because I was that hurt, And then I had another experience where I didn't quite think of suicide, but wouldn't have minded if I would have died because things were just so down for me. I was age 22. I had just got kicked off the football team at my junior college after just working so hard in the weight room and in the class to build myself up to get that scholarship that I had blue in high school. So I got kicked off the football team. 2 weeks after that, I got jumped by a bunch of guys and stumped in the head and ended up in the hospital just overnight. I wasn't too banged up besides a concussion. I went back to Florida, got in a fight with my mom, got put out her house. Me and my girl of 4 years ended up breaking up like within that month, and my car broke down. Essentially, my life sounded like a real sad country song. It was so much pressure to succeed, and I felt like I was failing, but I was going through it to build a stronger me. And guess what? I kept pushing, and there were much brighter days. Like I said, from that point, some of my best memories were in the future, and I still got a bunch of great memories left to make. Just be patient, give yourself time to develop in a person you desire to be or that you're destined to be. Now look, I'm a professional in multiple lanes. I've touched thousands of people, adults and youth, in a positive way. There were so many people with low expectations of me, so many people who pointed out my flaws and shortcomings. And still to this day, some people will size me up and think I ain't worth the crap. It's cool. Like I said, you don't know how great you can be. You expect somebody else to know how great you can be. Just focus on getting better every day, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Focus on your purpose and passions. Focus on just living life and enjoying this brief experience we have, and you're going to be okay. Just be patient. And in the meanwhile, if these thoughts continue, seek counseling, seek professional help. They'll help you develop a safety plan for when these thoughts start coming. You can learn the warning signs. What is the warning signs when you're about to enter a crisis? Do you feel excessive anger, sadness, emptiness, for no apparent reason, aggression, hostility, or is it something else? How do you distract yourself from thinking like this? Music, shower, watch a movie, whatever you into, arts and crafts. What are some coping strategies when things start to break down? Deep breaths, counting to 20 in your mind and thinking through things, working out, whatever it may be. What are your reasons for living? Your loved ones, your purpose, future experiences, your faith. Who are some people you trust that you can talk to and vent and gain some perspective? Is it some friends? Is it family, religious, spiritual members, some of both, somebody else? Think it out, write it down. What professionals can you call for help? Therapists, suicide prevention hotline, crisis hotline. I'll put those numbers in the description box. Lastly, what's your overall plan to keep yourself safe, right? Are you gonna stay positive and combat those negative thoughts with positive thoughts? Are you gonna remember the last time you were in a crisis or a tough time, and even though you thought this is it or I ain't gonna make it through, you made it through? Thinking like that builds confidence. Are you going to indulge in your hobbies, interests, get outside, follow passions and purpose? What is your overall plan to make it through crisis moments and eventually not have those moments? In all, recognize the signs, implement coping strategies, rely on your support network, and get professional help. Whatever you're going through, push through. Utilize your resources. And one day, trust me, one day, you're going to look back and say, made it.